Okay. So the best part I love about social media, so you're either like a doer or a scroller or a bit of both. You're doing stuff and then you post it, and or you're just sitting there scrolling watching everybody else's stuff, which can be problematic too, because if you're not doing anything for yourself, you may be triggered into feeling like you're not accomplishing anything, which is almost depressing in itself. And then you start comparing yourself to other people when you yourself have your own shit that you can do, that you just haven't brought maybe out of the closet, so to speak, or just haven't even engaged with in a long time. Maybe you haven't done any of the hobbies you used to do when you were younger. Who knows? Whatever it is, you're making the the choice not to reconnect with any of those things. So you have nothing yourself to post. And the funny part that I'm going to get to is, please do not take offense to this when I say this. It's almost like a show and tell. Do you remember how when we were younger, I don't know if you did this in your school, but I did in my school, but we had like a show and tell, and we would bring something to show the classroom, or even the whole idea of having like a talent show or something like that. I know there's even shows they have now on TV with the whole idea of finding talents. Everybody has something, even if you feel you have nothing. If you really were to sit and think about it, there's things you can do that other people can't. And keep it clean here. um, Really, when it comes down to it, it's like a show and tell. So it's really sweet if you think about it. Um, Everybody does seek some sort of validation, even though you don't need it. You can do that for yourself. Everybody does seem to seek some sort of acknowledgement for what they do, even though not everybody gets it, or realizes that they can do that for themselves. And most people want others to be happy for them or show them a positive, almost like positive reinforcement, like show them some sort of positive feedback that what they're doing is good, and that somebody's happy for them, and that they are appreciated even for whatever it is that they do. But from what I've experienced, I haven't even got to that level yet, but from what I've experienced, seeing other people that are doing extremely well, they're too busy to even think about seeking anything from anybody else. They're too busy. They're too, it's not even a self absorbed negative way. They are just busy with their own thing, their own life. And if they do post something, typically they've worked very hard for it, and they've been working on themselves for a long time, or they've been doing whatever it is, whether it be a talent or a business or something like that, and they've been doing it, so they're preoccupied. They don't have time to care about if people notice. They post it, then they forget about it. The whole idea of attraction is already knowing that you have it within yourself, already knowing that people are going to like your stuff because you like your stuff, already knowing that people are going to come across it or see it because you like your stuff, and you realize that it has value. You understand your value and your worth. So doing this sort of thing and putting it out there, even if not everybody agrees with it, most people that aren't happy for another person is either because they don't feel that they're doing enough for themselves, or they don't feel worthy or valuable themselves. So they would rather just project that insecurity onto other people, and it's not always a good thing, but it happens, and they just need a little bit of a cheerleader or boost themselves, instead of maybe seeing other people in a dimmer light than they actually are. So to get back on topic here, yeah, I thought it's cute, like the idea of show and tell. When it comes to making food, I used to love posting. When it comes to doing new things or learning new things or hobbies, I like to post to share. And then I started realizing I can use these platforms to share certain lessons or things in different ways, creative ways, to help other people so that they don't have to go through the shit that I went through, or so that maybe they can be inspired too. Because where I used to be, there's many people probably from my past, some of which I don't even speak to, who probably don't even recognize me or um, still view me as my old self, even though that part of me is no longer existent. I took the lessons that I needed to learn from my karmic side of myself, and being, kind of brainwashed and oblivious to the shit around me. I took the lessons that I learned coming up out of that to integrate that into my new self, how I've reinvented and created myself, how I've grown as an individual, how I've matured in some aspects, how I have developed into the person that I am now. So maybe people from my past may see me in a certain light, or dark, I should say, still believe me to be a certain way when that's not me at all. That's not who I am now. And it's a false projection that they have about me onto me to make them feel a certain way. Um, to those people, if they're still watching me, I hope you become inspired yourself, if not by me, from somebody else, or even your own self. I hope you get the motivation that you need to uplift yourself and to keep moving forward. I hope you start making positive changes in your life so that you could start doing things to make yourself feel happy, so you could start filling your own cup and do the things that you need to do to fulfill yourself in your life, so that you do not get sucked back into that whole depression or um, negative energies. Because when you're that low vibrational, you're susceptible to other things too, and that includes poor health. That includes bad decision making. That includes bad habits, things that are not so good for you, or toxic traits and behaviors, and the way we interact with other people too. Um, so I hope you find all the courage. I hope you find all the energy that you have left within you to lift yourself up off the ground. If you've fallen numerous amount of times, you could still get back up. That's the great part about this whole fucking thing. Part of my language is that you could get back up. Nobody's stopping you from getting back up. The only person that can put a stop to you is yourself. The only person that can put any blockages there, even if other people try to, project stuff or do spell work or any of that bull crap. When it comes down to it, your power comes from within yourself. Nobody can stop that. Nobody can block you. Nobody can take that away from you. Your crown isn't necessarily on your head, it's within you. And nobody can knock it off you. Nobody can take you off your high horse when you're doing well for yourself and you're trying to help other people or lift other people up, or you're trying to do and be the best version of yourself that you can be. Nobody can take that away from you. Any negative projections that are placed on you from other people, that goes immediately back to them. When you start vibrating in a high vibrational frequency, it doesn't even phase you. It doesn't do nothing to you, because you're not matching that. You're not there anymore. That is not who you are. And unfortunately, when you start growing and developing, not everybody can go with you or walk by your side. And it really does suck. Cutting ties with people energetically, or matching other people that do vibrate with you on a different level, meeting new people, all of it's an experience. It's part of the journey. I do the best I can to try not to judge other people without fully understanding where they're coming from. And even when I do, it does not excuse their behavior, especially if they're doing something to me, but I understand it. That way I no longer hold a grudge towards a person, and I no longer take it personally, because I understand it. Yes, I'm allowed to set my boundaries. Yes, I'm allowed to walk away, step away, remove my energy, or whatever, out of self-love. But it doesn't mean they're less of a person. I don't see them as despicable or anything like that. I don't see them as a certain way, because I understand it. But I won't put up with it. They are still accountable for their own shit, but they can be accountable all the fuck the way over there. I'll be accountable for my stuff over here. And I'm going to keep improving myself and doing better every day if I want to, because that's my choice. But if you're vibing low, you can still bring yourself back up. There is no limitations to that. Nobody is stepping on you, even if you believe that people are holding you back, you can break free from that. Nobody can get in your way once you realize your self-worth and your value, that inner light within you, that inner child that other people have abandoned. Once you reconnect with all those things and you start loving yourself unconditionally, nobody can get in your motherfucking